you guys, it is so nice to be here, and I don't know if you realize how amazing it is that you've got Deplorable Deb and Trevor Loudon in the same room, and you know, in little tiny Hernando County. This is wonderful.
And we got you.
And well, you know, but anyway, so I actually met Deb almost a year ago, and the reason that we got together was because she was blocked on Facebook, and one of her followers reached out to me. I'm an independent journalist, and when I heard that her free speech was being compromised, I called her up. We had a great conversation, and she said, you know, Jill, I can't go live. And I said, well, you know what? If I have to come up there to Hernando County, and I live in Fort Lauderdale, Broward County, I said, if I have to come up and meet you myself and go live on my Facebook page to get you out there.
Why are they shutting us up? Because we're speaking the truth. We're speaking the truth. Otherwise, they wouldn't be shutting us up.
So, and she's so right. So a little bit about me. I've been a journalist since 1987. I went to the Scripps School of Journalism at Ohio University, and I feel like I am one of the last real journalists in this country. I am shocked and appalled at the way journalism has taken a backseat to the truth.
Fake news.
Fake news is crazy, and I have made it my mission to help people understand what they're saying in the news. Get you to turn your television off and stop listening to these talking heads that are actually being paid for by people like George Soros and people in our country who pretty much hate freedom and want to see us go into communism. So I've done everything I can as far as putting the word out there that we are all being lied to pretty much about everything. So that's what I try to do. But one of the things that most frightens me is our children are not being educated in anything truthful anymore. And so one of the things that I was really vehement about is that kids understand what happened, not on 9/11, but after 9/11. So it was about 14 years after 9/11, and I thought there was actually a party, and they were playing a party game. It was like a wedding, whatever. Anyway, this little girl who was one of my best friend's daughters, she was born right after 9/11, like the month after 9/11. And one of the party questions was something about 9/11, and she said, "What's that?" She was 14 years old, and I was shocked that she had no idea what 9/11 was. Her parents never talked to her about it. My girlfriend said that she just didn't feel comfortable. So it's not taught in school, and one of the problems with 9/11 not being taught in school is that it happens at the beginning of the school year. A lot of teachers are not comfortable bringing it up. In fact, my nieces, my brother survived 9/11. He fled New York City. He moved to Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, and last year on 9/11, that's the school that my nieces go to. They did nothing. They didn't even have a moment of silence. They did not recognize the anniversary of 9/11 whatsoever. My sister-in-law went crazy. She called the principal. She said, "What's wrong with you? Don't you know that you have a survivor's children in your school?" And my nieces aren't the only ones, because a lot of people fled to Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania from New York City after 9/11. So in honor of my brother and his nieces and all of the children in this country, I wrote this book, which is not about 9/11 so much as it's about what happened after 9/11. There are no conspiracy theories in here. Even I don't know what happened on 9/11. None of us do. It continues to be a mystery. However, I do know what happened after 9/11, and kids today have no idea how we reacted, how we loved each other, how we all came together as Americans, and we all embraced each other.
For about 10 months.
Yeah, for about 10 months. And after that, you see what happened. You see it today. Our children have no idea that we could even be civil to each other. There are children who are now born after 9/11, are graduating from high school, and still don't really know what happened. So my mission in writing this book was to get this out to children. This leads me to Turning Point USA. So I got a press pass to Turning Point USA this past weekend, well, last weekend actually, and I was so fortunate to be there and saw about 5,000 kids from ages of like 17 to maybe 25, and they were all so excited about President Trump, who spoke at the Turning Point event, which I was shocked. I had no idea he would be there, so that was a great surprise for me. But the lineup of people, it was amazing. We had Don Trump Jr., Kimberly Guilfoyle, Glenn Beck, Candace Owens, of course Charlie Kirk, so many names, I could go on and on. However, I was so honored that I was able to meet these people and actually get my book in their hands. And I do look forward to hopefully becoming a speaker for Turning Point USA. I'm talking to the guy behind Charlie Kirk now. He's wonderful. And I really want to get my book into the hands of these kids who don't know what happened on 9/11, don't know what happened after 9/11. So I'm now compelled to write another book about what happened after 9/11, because as the years go by, and we're coming up on the 19th anniversary of 9/11, if you can believe that, and they still don't know what happened. They are even not realizing that there were 4 airplanes. They only know about the New York City airplanes, which is a real shame, because Flight 77 and Flight 93 are great examples of Americans taking control of a bad situation. The hijackers were going to kill them, and they knew that if they didn't do something, they would have to be part of an even greater disaster. So I always look at the passengers of Flight 93. There are heroes. In fact, these kids alive today, some of them might not be here today if the passengers of Flight 93 had just sat in their seats and shut up and did what they were told. They were true heroes. I've also since found out that the passengers of Flight 77 quite possibly did the same thing. The reason I know that is because after I wrote my book, I was talking about it on Facebook, and I got an interesting message from a woman named Mercy Lorenzo. Turns out Mercy was the AT&T operator that day, took the call from Barbara Olson as she tried to call her husband Ted Olson, who was the Solicitor General of the United States, I believe. And so Mercy heard them say their last goodbyes. Now, can you imagine, can you even hear a conversation like that? If every 9/11, Mercy goes through it and nobody ever cared. She would tell people, I was the operator who took the call. They'd say, yeah, whatever. Well, when she told me that, I said, Mercy, you need to be honored. You had a role in 9/11. And she told me that when she heard them talking from what Barbara Olson said on the phone, she believes that they diverted the airplane. She doesn't think it was meant for the Pentagon at all. She thinks that she thinks it was the White House. And of all the people in the world, I'm going to believe Mercy, because she's the only one who actually was on that plane, not physically, but she heard them. She heard Barbara Olson continuously telling her husband, or asking him, what should I tell the pilot? What should I tell the pilot? Who was apparently right there next to her. So Mercy believes in her heart that they did something to bring the plane down when it went down. And as you know, the Pentagon also could have been a much greater disaster than it was. That might have been because of the passengers of Flight 77. So I just ask all of you to try to have a conversation with your kids about 9/11 or your grandchildren. Oh, right. And the great thing about Mercy is that she's actually a Cuban refugee. So that her 10th birthday in America is the greatest day of her life. And she is such a patriot, and she makes it very clear that communism is a huge danger to all of us. She's lived through it. She told me all the stories about living in Cuba, growing up in Cuba, having the school system tell her that America was a devil. They vilified us all, and Mercy never believed it. She was reprimanded all the time in school for not being a good little communist, and she couldn't wait to get out and have her 10th birthday in America. So I try to honor Mercy, because nobody thought anything of what she did on 9/11. That breaks my heart. I think that she should be held up as one of the heroes of 9/11. So she's a dear friend of mine now because of this. And she follows Deb, and we're just so blessed to have her in our lives. So yeah, like I was saying, if you guys would please have a conversation about 9/11 with your kids and with your grandkids.
We can't forget, guys.
And never, ever let them forget. And not just forget what happened to us on 9/11, but the good that came out of 9/11, where we really were together. Another story that I've come across after my book was written was I spoke with one of the coroners at Flight 93, and he told me that on that day, after Flight 93 went down and everybody descended upon the crash site, you had the police, you had the fire, you had the FBI, you had the CIA, you had the first responders. He said never before or since had he seen people like this cooperate with each other. They never did it before, and that day they were speaking in hushed tones, they were somber, they were kind to each other, they shared all the information that they could with each other, and that has never happened again, and it never happened before that. But on 9/11, we truly were a nation unified under God. And now, nothing is, you couldn't be further from the truth. So it really is my hope that through our children and our grandchildren, we can come together again, because seeing that as 5,000 kids at Turning Point USA, I'll tell you what, my heart was full to see those kids. To hear them denounce socialism with such clarity, to know that our country is in danger. It's truly in danger. Right before the 2016 election, I traveled the country promoting my book as a journalist. I went back and forth in a car all the way to California, back to Florida. Twice I did this. And when I spoke to everyone, I knew that Trump would win. You can tell. You talk to people and you can tell. This time, it's even more important that we do all show it. And the thing about Deb saying fear, you cannot fear. Fear makes us weak. Fear makes us lower than we should be. And the thing right now is to show no fear and to tell our children how to think about our country in terms of the future. And communism is not the future. And our kids need to understand that, because they're being indoctrinated.
The thing is, capitalism works. It's capitalism, not socialism.
Well, and it's nationalism too. It's very important that you care about yourself, your family first. That means your country first. That's why President Trump wants us all to think about America first. Do it for our kids. They're the ones that we have to protect now. They don't know, they don't realize what's happening to this country. It's up to us. It's up to all of the immigrants who came from communist countries, from Cuba, from Venezuela, from China. Those people are here and they're terrified. They have a right to be. Also have to be positive. Again, you can't be afraid. You have to be strong and have the courage of your convictions. And when you speak to a young person, a student,
And you gotta
a child,
dance. You have to dance.
always dance and be happy and show them this is what a beautiful, wonderful country looks like with happy people in it. Because those Democrats, they are not happy people. The liberals, do they look happy?